Well, hi, how are you? It's Friday. Yes, we did it again. Made it through another week. Thank you so much to KC Security. They're going to be on the show a little bit later on, aren't they?
They are, with Michael Delphrey from Harvest Algoma, United Way, talking about some stuff they're doing for the community.
There. Holy Andrew Scheer.
Okay, what?
What?
Okay, so he resigned. That's first of all, we hear that he's resigning. I'm like, okay.
Yes.
He's realizing that he's not popular, and so he's doing it for the good of the party, and then we hear
that there are reports that he used some of the Conservative Party's money to put his children in private school.
Like when I got that first from Global, and I thought
Global cracked it.
And I was like,
because I watched it yesterday.
They wouldn't say it, but they didn't have credible evidence.
And now they're mentioning it a lot more in the media. I watched CBC yesterday afternoon for about half an hour, and they did not touch that.
They didn't touch it?
They didn't touch it. But they were waiting for confirmation. Whereas CTV, their all news channel, they referred to it but said they were waiting for confirmation. But this morning now everybody's just talking about what a thief he is.
And his salary was upwards of $200,000, I believe. Mm-hmm. Plus he got to live in the residence for free because he was the premier. No, what was he?
No, he was the leader of the party.
They got a house?
Yeah.
Oh. He was running to be premier. What was he running for? Prime Minister?
Yes.
He was never a premier. What was he?
He was the leader of the Conservative Party.
He was never a premier in that. No, he was running for federal. Hi, good morning. I'll just have some coffee.
That's Tim. That's the Tim part of this.
Yeah. Anyway, so he
big news.
The point was the guy wasn't poor.
No. I'm just looking at my necklace. It's crooked. Okay, now I feel better.
Okay, listen.
Yeah, so he wasn't poor. So coming up in the news, I have a couple of reactions from some of his fellow Conservatives. And it's the weirdest thing in my mind. I mean, he stood up and resigned, and obviously there was no reference in his thank you speech to, by the way, I used up a lot of money. Yeah. So got a standing ovation. All parties crossed the aisle to go shake his hand and congratulations. And some of his Conservative cohorts are saying this morning things like, well, like he deserves respect because he served the public for so long and blah de blah. And then there was another guy who came right out and said, you know what? If he stole the money, you should give it back. Which is kind of the way I feel.
Or if he stole the money, he should be charged.
It's theft.
What? It's theft.
Like, what?
But because he's Andrew Scheer, oh, well, no. We'll let it go? No.
And it's funny because everybody was talking about how, he's made the sacrifices. As I said, I watched CBC for a little bit yesterday afternoon. They were skirting around it. Just kind of, he must have thought that, like it's time because of, the numbers were so low. And 1 minute he's calling the election a success, a la Trump. You lost the election. How is that a success? But the popular vote and all those numbers and stuff he was using, it was all just a little surreal to me that nobody was actually, talking about the fact that, okay, he was unpopular, but he's also like stealing from the company.
Every politician makes certain sacrifices.
Right? That's the decision.
Doesn't give me the right to steal.
Right?
Like, my life is hard because I'm being nice for my country, so can I have that?
Not even asking.
Not even asking. I want that.
I'm taking
Well, anyway.
Yeah, so you know what, Andy? Don't put that on your resume.
Well, his resume is fake anyway.
Yeah. Right?
So, I mean, he lied about that too.
And then apparently in his
speech... So basically, he lied about his resume. He stole from the party. The guy's a crook.
So, and during the his thank you for everything speech yesterday, he referred to how, he's been in politics since he graduated high school. So then, of course, one of the pundits said, so that, of course, talks to his padding of his resume, that he was a real estate agent right out of high school. So, you know what, they just...
I shouldn't have said he's a crook. I should say he's crooked.
He stole money.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Okay. Money.
I have one more question, though. I'm not done.
Right.
Sorry. Is that okay?
Yeah, I'll just...
Do you still need to be here?
I'll just be with my candy cane. Go ahead.
I wonder how... Is that an ego thing?
What?
Like, are you...
Entitlement?
Entitled so that you don't think somebody's going to notice that? I mean, private schools are expensive.
Yeah.
How was it found out? How does one think that it's not going to be found out? You know? Like, is it ego?
So he's crooked and stupid, is that what you're saying?
Well, or an egomaniac.
Well, there's
Okay,
that.
I'm done now, thanks.
You're welcome.
What do you have?
I have the...
Anything good?
It's Christopher Plummer's 90th birthday.
Oh!
Holiday time. What do you think of Christmas? The Sound of Music, or as Christopher Plummer or as we call in the industry, they call him C-Plum.
Rick?
I don't know. That's what Keith calls him, C-Plum. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, like K. Trevor Wilson, they call him K-Trev, and Christopher Plummer, they call him C-Plum.
C-Plum.
C-Plum is 90. He called the Sound of Music the Sound of Mucus.
He didn't like it.
Did not like it.
He didn't like anything about it. Which is kind of a shame.
I think he enjoyed working with Julie Andrews.
Did he?
They had some laughs together.
Yeah?
Yeah, they did. But he didn't enjoy the experience. I think
What was
he thought
it?
it was fluffy, I think. I don't think that he thought it was a challenge as an acting role. I just don't think that he thought... I don't know. I think that he thought it was fluffy. And I think the fact that he had to sing. But he sang nicely.
I thought he sang okay.
He was my least favorite part of that film.
The Plummer Hospital was named for him?
Not him, for an uncle, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Somebody in his family. Yeah, he has relatives from up this area. And he actually was informed about that when he was filming up here.
Ah.
You know he was here filming?
Yes.
Yeah. And he was staying at the Quattro. And apparently he used to enjoy a glass of wine once in a while. And I guess he would sit at Quattro and maybe with a book and a glass of wine. And the story goes, that the patron walked over at one point and said, "Hi, I hate to interrupt or intrude." And he went, "But you have." Didn't really like being approached too much.
Apparently.
Well, who would though? I mean, you don't want people walking up to you all the time.
Well, then take your glass of wine and go and sit in your fancy hotel room and read your book. Like, you don't want to be approached, but you're sitting out in public. Sorry, you're an actor. That's what you do for a living. Next.
It's National Cocoa Day.
Cocoa?
Yes.
As in chocolate?
The difference between what is the difference between hot cocoa and hot chocolate? It's pretty obvious. It's in the name.
Well, cocoa is the powder.
Yes.
Chocolate is...
Chocolate. So hot chocolate should be made with either powdered chocolate or melted chocolate.
Actual real chocolate.
Hot cocoa should be made with cocoa powder.
I guess that's why nobody says hot cocoa anymore.
Right, because then you'd have to add sweetener and everything.
Yeah.
You use cocoa,
Yeah.
right? So anyway, and I think...
Or booze. You could throw some booze in there.
I think we talked about this before, but just a reminder that cocoa's been around for 2,000 years.
I always knew
the
Mayans. There was something up with that cocoa.
Yeah, 1400 AD, by then it was an important part of the Aztec civilization, used medicinally.
Yes.
It's good for your digestion, it's loaded with antioxidants, and it helps prevent cancer. So let's all go eat chocolate or cocoa.
Is there anything in there about a sugar buzz?
But see, cocoa doesn't have sugar.
Right.
Cocoa
But I'm wondering,
itself,
because there are theories now that, when you were a kid, don't eat sugar because the kid's going to be bouncing on. Apparently that's not
true.
A myth.
Sugar doesn't give you a butt.
No, apparently it's a myth.
I'd have to look into that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you know why? Because I thought even fruit juices can cause you. Because I remember I was told it's okay, like if you're somebody who suffers from depression, or it does. If you take sugar, you'll peak and then you'll crash. So maybe it's that so you do peak though, and then you crash. And the thing about even orange juice, I was told if you suffer from depression and you're drinking a juice in the morning, drink orange juice with pulp. Because the pulp absorbs the sugar and you don't end up with the same kind of crash.
Oh.
Yeah.
I hate pulp.
Well, you don't...
It's like feathers in the juice.
Well, then you just keep taking your happy pills and you'll be fine. You can just drink regular orange juice. It's also Violin Day. I don't know why you have a Violin Day, but it's Violin Day.
Not a violin.
I want you to guess how much the world's most expensive violin is worth. Take your time.
$1.2 million.
$16 million.
Wow.
Yes, created by Guarneri del Gesù, Italian. He's on loan, in case you didn't know.
Thanks for that.
And it's been on loan for her lifetime to violinist Anne Akiko Myers. She gets to play this violin for her entire life. It's worth $16 million.
How do you not sweat on something that's worth $16 million?
I would sell that thing and then just play another one.
And run.
And run.
Run. Go play your violin.
I play my violin in...
Buy a cheap Kamasava.
You know what this is? It's the world's smallest violin playing just for you because you didn't even have to shovel this morning. You're lucky. You got a nice husband.
I have an awesome husband. Yes,
I have an awesome show.
Okay.
We have an awesome show.
Yes, we do.
Edie Suriano's here from the Bushplane Museum talking about New Year's Eve.
Woohoo!
And as we mentioned before, KC Security and Harvest Algoma talking about a joint venture they have coming up. Plus, it's Fur and Feathers Friday. And this one over here, she got the news. So stay with us on Friday morning. Luann and Tim on TV. See you in a minute. Talk about Christmas spirit. You guys are just full of it. This is my friend Mike Delfrey. Mike is from United Way's Harvest Algoma. You've been on the show many times already. Welcome back. And of course, this is not Daniel LaPrade. It's Daniel LaPrade. I always say your name fancier than it is.
Yeah, the emphasis.
Daniel, of course, is part of, well, you are the owner-operator of KC Security. And you have been sponsoring our show now for about, I don't know, 8 months or something.
Yeah, I think we lost track.
We thank you a lot all the time, but in person, really, honestly, thank you so much for helping to keep us afloat and supporting local television programming. We know that there are a lot of people who are enjoying the show, Daniel, and if it weren't for you and people like you who support us by advertising with us, we just wouldn't be here anymore. So we really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And all that you do for the community. And here we are.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah.
You guys are joining forces.
So we partnered to collect canned food from the 3 Metro stores in the Soo. We did the Churchill Plaza Metro last weekend, which was great.
We had a great success with that.
Yeah, we collected about somewhere between 350, 375 items.
Items, non-perishable.
Cans and packages.
And toiletries as well, right?
Yeah, and toiletries, yeah.
Daniel, you were saying that some people were actually seeing that you were there, shopping elsewhere, coming back and dropping stuff off. Like they were just showing up. Even if they weren't in the Metro, they were coming by specifically to give you donations.
Yeah, we did. We had a few people that showed up. They saw our post or they saw it on social media through United Way, and they said, you know, we got stuff earlier in the week, so we want to drop it off, right? So it was nice to have that, and lots, right? Like some of them just bag after bag.
Bag after bag, and then also Metro itself, as you mentioned, makes it quite easy to make donations because
they make up pre-made bags. They're right by the entrance, so you can't miss them. And, you know, they've got a big sign on them.
They're usually brown paper bags, right?
Everybody deserves a good meal, and you know, they're priced really attractively. So
I think it's $10, isn't it?
Yeah, around that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So
and then in addition to food, there were people who gave us cash donations.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, we had I think we had something around $95 in cash, which, you know, I mean, everything like that really gives you lots of flexibility because, you know, we can buy things that we don't get donated. You know, it's difficult to get things like perishables, vegetables, or meat or dairy.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that a little later on, but let's talk about where you're going to be it's this weekend. You've got 2 more days of this. You call it Stuffer Cruiser, KC Security, and Harvest Algoma. Where will you be this weekend?
We're going to be on Saturday, so tomorrow we'll be at the Metro on Northern Avenue.
That's my Metro.
Yeah, we'll be there from 10 to 2. And then on Sunday we'll be at the Metro at Market Mall.
That's my other Metro. To be honest, I go to all 3 of them. I really do. Yeah. So Market Mall on Sunday,
and the
Northern on Saturday.
Avenue on Saturday.
Yeah.
Same times, 10 to 2 both days?
10 to 2 both days, yeah.
Okay,
we'll
so
be set up at the front with the vehicles. Yeah.
KC security vehicle. Do you put flashers on?
Yeah, we'll put the flashers on.
This, by the way, is flashers. For
yeah,
those of you who don't know.
and then the United Way
effects.
vehicle will be there.
Oh, you have a vehicle too?
Yeah, we have 2 vans that we use to rescue food from restaurants and grocery stores. So
tell me about the gentleman that you've hired now. He's a local farmer.
just hired Carson Beauregard, who is the owner of the plant farm.
Okay.
So he's a farmer. He taught for us in a gardener training program we ran last summer, but he's been hired as our new food rescue coordinator. So he goes around to restaurants and grocery stores and enrolls them into the foodrescue.ca platform,
Okay.
which is all across Ontario. And then when they have surplus food, or if they have items that they can't sell, they'll post that on the website, and we'll get a notice, and then he'll go and pick it up. Or else we'll have regular. So we already have several rescues. We have a chicken rescue from one of the delis. They asked me not to say who they are, but Wednesday we went and picked up 7 crates of chicken carcasses that we turn into soup broth. That otherwise that would have probably gone in the garbage.
Right.
So it's a huge donation, and because it's very nutritious and it's very
nutritious,
very tasty.
And also, on the other hand, I'll just tell you, my friends from Clean North, Abby and Josh, would say you're doing amazing things for the environment too, because that's not going in the landfill and creating methane gases, which is bad for the environment.
Yes,
so
right.
you're feeding people and you're helping the planet.
Right. Yes.
In more ways than one,
Yeah,
really.
that's true. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I foolishly made a remark before we went to air saying, oh, well, that's what a nice Christmas gift to give somebody. And I was thinking, a Christmas gift, what, to be able to actually eat? And it just sounds so silly when you say it as a gift. I mean, these people, you're seriously helping people who don't have food.
We are, and it's surprising how many there are in the community. One of the things we know about hunger is that it's hidden. It's not visible. Like homelessness, you can see people on the street, or people, don't have a place to live. But hunger is harder to see, and that we know from discussions we've had with various groups and agencies that food becomes a discretionary item when you have to pay your rent, you have to pay your utilities, and you have to pay, for other things. Food goes down, and that means,
and that's not the way that it should be.
That means sometimes people will eat once a day, or
or what they're eating isn't enough to keep them healthy.
Yeah.
Let's talk about who do you help? What agencies do you actually provide food to?
Well, there's 27.
No kidding.
27 agencies in the community that are eligible to come to the Food Resource Center on Second Line, the former Coation Hall. And there's a broad variety, everything from Ken Brown Recovery Home, Women in Crisis, agencies that have residential clients they have to feed, Pauline's Place, Breton House, those sorts of places, the Algoma University Student Pantry, Batchewana First Nation, Guard River First Nation Indian Friendship Center. We even had this week, there's a member of the Sioux Police have created what they call a core unit. And these are policemen who work long-term with people, with families, and one of them stopped in to find out what we're doing and said he has a family that has no food, could they qualify? And we said, of course. So we're getting better known. The agencies are finding out about us, and now they're starting to come more often. Our goal, obviously, when we're fully operational, is to be able to supply all the food these agencies need, either by surplus food we bring in from a warehouse in Toronto, rescued food from stores or restaurants, or food we grow. So.
Now, to that end, let's get to the greenhouse story, because you've already purchased the greenhouses.
We've purchased 200-foot greenhouses.
100 foot each, and there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
They are in storage right now.
Right.
But Mr. Beauregard
has installed greenhouses on his property, so he knows how to do it.
Okay, so come spring.
Come spring, we'll be installing 2 of them in our parking lot, so that we can grow our own food.
It's going to make a huge difference.
It'll be a wonderful addition. Yeah.
Wow. So, and that sort of stuff, I mean, that's where financial donations come in really handy. So you can purchase stuff like these greenhouses.
Right.
And then also, if you're, you have do you have a good volunteer base, Michael? Or could you always use more, I'm sure? We
have a very good base now, and as we ramp up, so as we get more food to process, to cook with, or to bake with, we'll recruit more, and we have 32 raised beds, gardens that we'll be
You already have those.
Those are installed.
Those are all on the side, are they?
Right.
Some of them.
That's right.
I've seen them. Yes.
Yeah, so we'll be looking for some volunteers for that next year.
See, and if you haven't been, just go to the facility and check it out. It really is remarkable what you're doing up there. I mean, it's something you've been working toward for a long time. I know you personally.
It's a project that we started about 3 years ago, but really what's been interesting and very kind of rewarding is the traction we've gotten very quickly because of the partnerships, like with the Food Bank Farm and with Connect the Dots and the Salvation Army, et cetera, et cetera. So when everybody works together, you're able to get a lot more done in a shorter period of time, and that's really what's happened. Wow. So that we're well over now 100,000 pounds of food that we've brought into the community from outside that previously we didn't get as a community.
So Daniel, what sorts of products were you seeing a lot of? I mean, what sorts of things were, or I can ask Michael too, what is really in need?
Well, I would see we see a lot of the canned packaged stuff, right? You know, some people drop the odd thing off that they're not sure. Like I think there was one frozen box of pierogies.
Yeah,
that's not going to do so well, is it? Oh, yeah. Can you do frozen foods?
We have 2 big walk-in freezers.
Right, so it can be done.
Oh, really?
We do.
Okay, I didn't realize. See, I wouldn't have thought of that.
But even I know toiletries too. Sometimes at this time of year, right? Like, you know, so people forget about that sometimes. So it is nice to be able to get, you know, a mixture of things.
Okay, so once again, you're at the Metro on Northern Avenue on Saturday, tomorrow.
Yeah.
10 to 2.
Yep.
Sunday at Market Mall. And there was one other thing I wanted to talk to you about. Oh, I know. If you have non-perishables, Michael, that's the thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
In need of milk, cheese.
Milk, dairy, any dairy products, meat, fruit. Fruit is really hard to come by as a donation item.
Right. So those you're not going to bring those to the stuff a cruiser for KC Security. You're actually going to go to Harvest Algoma and drop off perishables.
We're open Monday to Friday. If people have perishables, potatoes, turnips, anything like that,
really,
that can really make a meal, especially this time of year. You know, you want something hearty in the winter.
Yeah, all those root vegetables and stuff.
Right.
You can make great.
They got lots of space up there.
Lots of space.
I toured it last time I went to meet with Mike, and
people can come up and just ask for a tour, can't they, Mike?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
And if people have preserving jars they're not using anymore, because that's kind of disappearing. Why am I staking stuff and putting it in recycling when I could bring it to you? Like all my jars from like my sauces? All those jars, yeah.
Okay, now that's a brilliant idea. I never even thought about that.
We're looking for.
I'll be up to see you.
We're looking for those.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks for having us.
Happy
Merry
New
Christmas
Year.
as well.
All the best,
Merry
guys.
Christmas.
Yep.
And Daniel, thanks again for all you do for the community.
Yep.
Don't miss this, okay? Harvest Algoma, KC Security, Stuff a Cruiser at Metros. For more information, just contact KC Security or contact Harvest Algoma.
Yep.
And we'll see you in the new year, both of you.
Sounds good.
We'll be back to say goodbye with. Oh no, wait! We'll be back for. Oh, it's Fur and Feathers Friday. There's an animal somewhere in this building, and it's not Luann. Be right back. You mentioned yesterday one of the top Canadians that has been tweeted about was Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
He's in a lot of the talk trivia shows, talk shows and stuff on Twitter stuff because there's an ongoing fun feud with Hugh Jackman he has going on where they tease each other. Also because he has that new gin out.
Yes, I read about, yes.
And he hired the woman from that commercial that bombed so badly. There was a fitness machine, a treadmill or something. A woman, it was very sort of, what would you say, demeaning to women, that a husband should give a woman an exercise machine as if to say, you need to lose weight. Did you hear about this whole scandal?
No.
Okay, so it's a treadmill or some sort of a fitness machine, and the actress who's in the film, in the commercial, the whole thing got slammed in social media saying how, like, you know, demeaning to women to say, give your wife this for Christmas, as if to say you need to get in shape.
Right.
The whole campaign fell flat in its face. And she was basically kind of really embarrassed publicly for her role in this. So Ryan Reynolds grabbed her immediately and put her into commercial for his new gin, Aviator. And it's three women sitting at a bar, and she's just sitting there
as herself, drowning her sorrows in her gin martini. And it's obvious that it's her. It's just a close-up on her face, and she's just sitting there, pans back with her friends, and they're like, "Yeah, you could," and she's like, and
That's
they say another
funny.
one, and it's all based on her flop in that commercial.
Ah, there you go.
Now, there's another reason why he's in the news. He had a child with his wife, Blake Lively.
Beautiful.
They've yet to name her.
Still.
She
was born...
She's 12. No, I'm kidding.
She's 48.
She was born on October the 10th. She's 2 months old, and they haven't given her a name yet.
And they have other children.
They have, two other children.
Two other kids.
Who have names, but they haven't named her yet. And so he was asked why, and he said, well, we are going to name her, but all the letters in her name are going to be silent. He said, I want to give her something to push against in life.
Gee, he's funny. What a great sense of humor.
Yeah, but 2 months. When do you think?
Crazy.
When do you think is the? How is there a time limit on when you should name your child?
Well, lots of people say, well, I'll know
When I baptize them.
when I see them. Right?
Because I'd be like, okay, Yoda. Because all baby, come on.
Yeah, that's why you don't have children.
I know. Well, when they come out, don't name them when they first come out. Get them
2
cleaned
months
up.
is a long time
You think
in
so,
my
too?
mind. Like, what do they call her? How do they refer to her? Hi, baby?
But she's 2 months old. Do you think she's?
Well, you still talk to the baby.
I know it's so it.
No, parents don't call children it.
The Addams Family did. Oh, that was not. That was a cousin. Never mind.
Yes.
Sorry.
But yeah, that's a long time.
Okay, so, like, what do you think? There's a cutoff
I think you should have it like at
before
least
they're born.
before they're born, or
And
a
then
couple of weeks after.
You have some choices, and then
like
when you meet the
Esmeralda
child,
works.
and you
What's like use Esmeralda? That's a nice name.
you want to scar a child for life.
Esmeralda Reynolds.
Might as well call her Gertrude.
Okay, Bertha.
See, I can't imagine looking at a beautiful little baby and going, "I'm going to call you Gertrude."
Ethel.
Ethel.
There's some good
You know
names
what
out
though?
there.
Now we're hurting people's feelings who have those names.
Right, Eunice. My mother's name is Eunice.
Yeah, they're just older names. That's all.
Yeah, that's right.
Classic names. Let's call them classic names.
Classic names.
All right. Listen,
Yes.
daughter of Eunice,
Yes.
will you do the news for me, please?
Yes, I'll do that right now. As a matter of fact, as soon as we take a look at these commercials. Ontario's legal cannabis retail scene will become better equipped to compete with the black market starting next month. The government announced yesterday it was doing away with the province's controversial license lottery system. Attorney General Doug Downey said the lottery system, first implemented to help the emerging retail market contend with a major supply shortage, and since criticized as a cumbersome process preventing the province from staying competitive, will be eliminated as of January 1st. The government had frequently stated an interest in opening up the province's legal retail market since cannabis became legal in October of 2018. Downey said the lottery system used to issue the province's first 75 retail licenses will be scrapped, allowing stores to apply for provincial approval as they see fit. Would-be retailers will still be subjected to criminal record checks and a government approval process, but the pre-qualification measures used with the lottery system are being abolished. The new rules will also allow legal cannabis producers to enter the retail market by opening shops on their own premises. After rejecting calls for his resignation from within his party for weeks, federal Conservative leader Andrew Scheer announced yesterday that he will step down as soon as his party chooses a successor. Conservative MPs and senators had mixed reaction to his resignation and to revelations the party paid for some of Scheer's expenses, such as the additional cost of private school for his children in Ottawa.
He told us he's been thinking about this obviously since October 21st, and I think what he wanted to be able to do was make a decision, think about it, talk about it with his family. Obviously, he's not going to, tell the whole world that he's looking at what he should be doing. And so he said, he's talked with his family, he's looked at the sacrifice that he's already made, and I mean, I'm like all of you, we just heard this news as well, but he's a thoughtful person.
To give the money to the party, but I don't give the money to support the candidate, support the party, but not to support the members of the family. I pay for this, and I'm sure all members of the party, I don't know if they will make the same reflection, but it's so important when you give your money to the party, it's for the party, it's for the election, especially when you have an election, to support the candidate of the party.
The federal government is predicting Canadian defense spending will inch closer to its NATO promises in the coming years than originally expected, though not because Ottawa is planning to send new money the military's way. All NATO members, including Canada, agreed in 2014 to work towards spending the equivalent of 2% of their gross domestic products on defense within the next decade, as the military alliance sought to share the burden of defending from new threats like Russia and China. 2 years ago, when they unveiled their defense policy, the Liberals said the government would hit 1.4% by 2024-25. But Defense Minister Harjit Sajjan this week said, without providing details, that defense spending would instead reach 1.48% of GDP. An increase of that size could represent close to $2 billion more per year for the military. However, the Department of National Defense told the Canadian press that there are no new investments on the horizon for the Canadian Armed Forces beyond what's already in the Liberals' policy. Instead, Defense Department spokesperson Daniel Leboutillier attributed the change to slower than expected economic growth over the next few years and more spending on non-military specific activities like veterans benefits and the Canadian Coast Guard. The government has included such activities in its calculations since 2017 to try to address complaints from the U.S. and other NATO allies that Canada was not investing enough in its military. NATO approved the change.
Now, there's two basic factors that drive trend economic growth: population growth, productivity growth. Now, global population growth, well, that peaked back in the mid-1960s, and it has been declining ever since that time.
Bank of Canada Governor Stephen Pawles said yesterday the global economy appears set for continued slow growth for mostly structural reasons, and that means low global interest rates are likely to persist too. Speaking to the Empire Club in Toronto, Pawles said slowing population growth is holding back economic growth, and gains in productivity aren't happening fast enough to offset the change.
There's potential for higher productivity growth in the future. Now, here I'm referring to what's been called the Fourth Industrial Revolution, the increasing use of artificial intelligence, AI, machine learning, big data throughout our economy. But judging from past experience, these productivity gains could be slow to arrive. Companies have cut their investment plans worldwide, which also means less potential economic growth in the future. On balance, then, it looks like the global economy is set for continued slow economic growth. And this is for mostly structural reasons.
Thank you all very much for coming. Well, my friends, good morning, everybody. My friends, well, we did it. We did it. We pulled it off, didn't we?
British Prime Minister Boris Johnson's Conservative Party won a majority in Britain's Parliament. He says the victory gives him a mandate to navigate Britain's exit from the European Union.
And with this mandate and this majority, we will at last be able to do what? You've been paying attention. Because this election means that getting Brexit done is now the irrefutable, irresistible, unarguable decision of the British people. And with this election, I think we've put an end to all those miserable threats of a second referendum.
It's the holiday season, and who's busier in town than Edie Soriano and the Bushplane Museum?
Very busy.
Great that you're so busy. So tell me, like, Christmas parties?
We do lots of children's Christmas parties.
Children's?
It's a great place for kids to come. They get to enjoy the museum, and Santa comes, and it's just a fun place to be for a
So
Christmas
when you
party.
say children's Christmas, do you mean private ones, or do you mean like...
Well, different organizations come in.
and they'll host a Christmas party.
Yeah. So we set it all up right around our Christmas trees, and we have a Santa
Christmas
bench.
trees?
Yeah, I do a whole bunch.
Do
it's my
you?
own festival of trees.
Really? Do you really? All through the museum?
No, in clusters.
In
two different-
clusters?
Yeah, so it's cool.
And also staff parties.
And staff parties, another big one this weekend.
Great idea for a staff party.
Yeah, it's lots of room, and again, you get to see the planes and everything else that goes with it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And so
it's
now
awesome.
you're planning for New Year's. When do you
New
get a
Year's.
break? Do you take a little holiday after the New Year, Edie?
No, not till March, so that's
Are
a long
you
time away.
serious?
Yeah. But January is normally our quiet
you know why?
month.
I know why. Because you got to gear up for Bonsu and all the
Family Day.
all the stuff that happens in February,
It doesn't
March.
stop. Just January is usually traditionally a quiet month.
A little quieter, but
that's when still members and everything come in with their kids. Like
Of
we're
course.
still open.
And there's still tourists coming to
there
Sault
is
Ste. Marie
still
in
lots
January.
come in skiing. So
Of course they
you're coming
do.
skiing and you come to the Bushplane too. So.
And then in the summertime, you got all those cruise ships coming
yeah.
in. But it's wonderful.
It's absolutely wonderful. We're very lucky.
Tell me again, remind me that now we're coming to the end of 2019. Give me an estimate, can you, of how many people have come through that building?
Well, we're each year, right now,
Annually?
we're around between 35 and 40,000 people come through.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, it is.
Kathy Fisher was saying similar numbers for the old Stonehouse for Bushplane.
Quite often, when they're coming to the zoo, they're going to see all our attractions, which are all awesome,
Right.
Including our museum, the art gallery. So they're going to do all of us while they're here. So yeah.
What do you call it? Come down to the corner.
Yeah, come to the corner.
Come to the corner. So we're coming to the corner on New Year's Eve.
We are, yes.
What a great place for a party.
Yeah, and this is our last celebration for our 30th anniversary.
Oh, of course, this wraps up 30 years.
It wraps up our 30-year celebration,
Okay,
which
so
have been awesome.
What's on the agenda what can we expect from New Year's Eve at the Bushplane Museum?
So we have partnered up with the Grand Gardens.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Absolutely. So they're giving us a fabulous meal. So chicken, soup, ravioli, grilled zucchini, you name it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, look at all this stuff. Yes. How cool is that?
Pasta appetizer, chicken soup, cheese ravioli. Their raviolis, by the way, are as big as your head. They're delicious. And ravioli and meatballs,
Right.
stuffed chicken, garlic mashed potatoes, grilled zucchini peppers, and cheesecake.
And cheesecake.
And then late night.
And then look, yes, it keeps
Late
going.
night pizza, sweets and munchies, and champagne with
Well, you have
favors.
to have champagne.
This is all included in the ticket price.
It absolutely
all that
is.
food and the complimentary champagne at midnight.
That's right.
And
yes.
party favors.
And party favors. And a live band.
Not just a live band, an amazing live band. It's the Reptiles. If you have not heard the Reptiles, I know a lot of the members. Okay, like Janine Jefferson is one of the vocalists, and I'm going to forget all their names, but Jeff Arbus is in there, and there's I think Fred Pelche is the percussionist. Amazing musicians. Horns. Are any Sorianos in it?
My husband is Ken. Yeah.
Ken plays.
Saxophone.
So
Jay
you got
Dinsdale.
Jay Dinsdale. So you get a brass section.
Yeah.
You got amazing guitars. You got percussion. You got 3 female singers, and someone when they do backup and stuff. Like they do stuff like "Give Me Some Love" and "Soul Man."
Yes.
Respect. They take turns on Respect. I'm trying to think of the other. Oh, so there's Janine and her sister Francine, and then there's my friend. What's her name? She taught French. I'll think of it.
Okay.
Anyway. So amazing music.
And you know what? If you haven't danced to a live band, it's totally different. You're feeling that beat when it's cool to dance to a live band.
And then are they being interspersed with a DJ?
Yes, we have Dennis Murphy will be there.
No relation to me, but I'll tell you, I do give Dennis a lot of credit.
Yeah.
He's been the DJ at a lot of events that I performed at. He's fantastic from the music people.
He plays his audience very well.
Reads the crowd.
He's going to start at 5:30 when we open the doors. He's going to play till the band starts at 9. So right through the dinner and everything, he's going to be playing.
Michelin
And
Finley.
then in between, there you go.
Michelin Finley is the other female vocalist.
Okay.
Yeah, there. Very good.
Okay, so the music starts at 5:30?
Yeah, yes.
The DJ starts at 5:30.
So dinner's at 7, so you can, if you want to start dancing, you'll be able to start dancing. Sit down, have your supper, and then when the band starts, when they take the break, he'll be coming on. So it's non-stop. So till those balloons drop. And
Balloon drop at midnight.
Yeah.
They do that at I love when they do that.
Yeah, drop it from
At big
our
parties.
23 feet.
They do that, I know, right? They do that a lot when you're at resorts and stuff.
Yeah, it is cool.
The balloon drop.
It just adds to the festivities for the...
Black and gold balloons.
Yes, it's
And
awesome.
you don't have to drive.
Yeah, and you don't know. They have 2 buses. One will be leaving at 12:30. One will be leaving at 1:30.
And then, of course, there's always taxis, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But nobody wants to leave before 12:30 because you got to be there for midnight for the balloon drop, for the champagne, for the party favors to hang around, and then...
Plus, you know what else we have
What else?
as a good deal going at the Sleep-In. So if anybody wants to come and stay at the Sleep-In,
Which is
half
right
a
next
block from us,
Right.
just call
they
the
offering a
Sleep-In,
discount?
very big discount to stay there. That way you can just stagger maybe back to the Sleep-In.
Yeah.
Get
Or
the bus,
get the-
take
well,
you
you know
right
the
to the
bus can
Sleep-In.
take you right to the
Right
Sleep-In.
around the corner.
Because that's the thing about the buses that Edie hires for these events. They will actually drive you to your
Yes.
home. It's like having a huge taxi.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So no driving,
no.
sleep in, great discount. Nothing better than sleeping in a hotel room
Yeah,
and then
that's
waking
it.
up and having breakfast in
breakfast,
bed.
yeah. So how cool is that? So that was nice of them to help us out and keep them off the streets.
Keep people off the
Yeah,
streets.
so party hardy and
Now the tables. Can you, if I'm just 2 people, can I go?
yeah, so then we will be bringing till we get 10 or 12 at a table.
10 to 12
but
at a
if you
table.
have a group to come, just call and book it under whosever name, and then that table's all you and your
You
friends.
get 10
and your
people
family.
together.
Yeah.
This
just
is,
call.
I don't know. I just feel like that environment. I know how beautiful the Bushplane is at night when it's all lit up.
All the lights
and,
up.
and with all the windows looking out, I mean, across the river.
Yeah,
And,
and you can bet a ship's going to be going, so you'll be seeing the lights of the ship going up. Yeah.
Because I grew up at Point Louise, and one of my favorite things was some of the ships actually that used to go up would be decorated. There'd be like a tree on the bow or something. Beautiful.
So they'll get to see that. It is pretty cool. Plus, the other thing we have going is we have a silent auction and a live auction that will be going.
Is that going to be
just
in
before
support of the
bets,
Bushplane?
in support of the Bushplane.
How fantastic.
So Mike Peaver is our auctioneer.
Yes.
So we have 8 awesome items that he is going to be
live
auctioning, and some small items on the table throughout the evening.
For silent auction.
Yeah. So just to help us out a little bit.
Amazing.
Yes.
How do we make our reservations, Edie?
So all you have to do is call the Bushplane, 705-945-6242. They'll put it right through to me,
or
and
say into your cell phone, Bushplane Museum, Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, and it'll come up and you can just do call, and there you go.
There you go.
And
tickets are $100 a person.
That's it?
And it includes...
For everything?
It's a
party
cash bar.
favors, cash bar, yeah. Of course it is.
But other than that, it's $100 and everything's included.
Everything's included?
Yes.
Including your transportation?
Yes. Can't beat that.
You can't, because you know what? And then no waiting for a taxi on New Year's Eve. Imagine
and waiting
that.
and waiting and waiting.
No. Okay. This is New Year's Eve with Edie Suriano. It's the place to be. And by the way, I just got to tell you how beautiful you look today.
Thank you.
The green and, you're well put together. I'm feeling a little underdressed there, Edie. Hey.
Thank you, Tim. Happy New Year to everybody.
Thanks
and
for being
your
such
support.
thank you for being such a great guest over the whole year. Very supportive of ONNtv and Superior Media. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks to everybody else at the Bushplane.
Will do.
Happy holidays. We'll be back with Luann right after this. We were trying to get ready because last week we got totally caught on unawares. We weren't paying attention to Audrey counting us in, and I was like, "Are we on?" And then I forgot Laura's name.
It was the pressure.
So she just said, "Tim, what's my name?"
It's Laura.
It is.
And it's interesting that you brought a cat named Gladys with you
I
today, because
did.
Gladys is one of those names that I think is a classic name.
It is.
And I said to you, we were just talking about names like Gertrude, and then you said...
One of the ladies at work has a cat named Gertrude.
There you go. But this one is Gladys.
This is Gladys.
Can you tell me Gladys's story, what you know of it?
Gladys was one of the ones that was just left in our after hours box, so we named her.
You did.
She's one of our senior cats that we've got right now at the shelter.
So can you guess her age from her teeth and stuff?
We guess around 8.
Is that how you go by teeth and things?
Teeth, eyes, some nails help sometimes too.
She's very calm.
Yeah, she might be pushing like between the 8 and 10 mark. She does have a little bit of arthritis in her back end that we've noticed.
In her haunches?
One of her legs is a little stiff.
Okay, so me too, Gladys.
I know.
I feel you, girl.
This weather doesn't help.
Her markings are spectacular. Look at the little white splotch on her face. Those green eyes, Laura.
Yes.
Oh, her eyes are like yours.
I brought a cat to match.
Yeah, you're really matching cat. So she was just dropped off.
Yeah.
No history.
No, none at all.
But
no information.
Other than the little bit of arthritis in the haunch.
She's just a lovely, quiet cat. I mean, she's already fixed. She's been a doll since she came in. Just easygoing. Just if she's got a bed, she's happy.
And a little white paws.
You know, your little white belly.
She's a good size.
She is. She's on the larger scale.
Can you show her?
Okay.
There she goes. So she's, oh, look.
It's a little on chunky side, but not too bad.
No, well, the arthritis would slow you down. Okay,
Yeah.
look, now I made you disturb her.
That's okay.
Oh, the white whiskers. So the fee for Gladys is $90 then?
No, it's less. It's $50.
That's it? Oh, because
Yep.
she's a cat.
That's
I was
right.
thinking dogs.
Yep.
$50. She needs a home for Christmas.
She needs a home for Christmas. She needs a nice, comfy bed by somebody's Christmas tree. She's just a loving cat.
How long have you had her?
We've had her a couple months.
Oh, really?
But this time of year, too, the older ones tend to get overlooked.
Because
Sometimes
people want kittens.
they want the surprise kittens for Christmas.
Oh.
So she would be a great addition to any home, really. I mean, if you've got little kids, just as long as they know, I don't think she'd be one to be appreciated being carried around the house by a
She's
little
not going to
kid.
want a little kid chasing her, picking her up, dragging her
Tormenting
around.
her.
No.
She's not.
So we're looking for a person or a family or a couple who just want to give a beautiful animal a loving home.
Yeah, and I think she'd be fine with anything else in a home too. Like I say, as long as she's got a comfy bed, she seems to be a happy cat.
So you mean if there were a dog in the house that was friendly with cats, or
yeah,
what?
exactly. I don't think she'd care
She
overly
wouldn't really
much.
care. She's so low key.
Yeah, she really is.
Is she going to need to go on a diet? Was that something that you're going to recommend,
She's
or
not
not really?
one-
She's not that overweight.
I wouldn't gain weight on her because of the arthritis, but I don't necessarily think she's not like that other one, Hobbs, there that I brought that was almost 30 pounds.
Did that one go?
No, he's still there.
Come on, people, let's get these cats homes.
I know.
Do you have any fundraising stuff going on, Laura, that we should know about right now?
We do. We're in our last stretch of the 12 Days of Christmas in-shelter auction that we're running. We have amazing gifts like that you can bid on for the...
Where do we see them? What are the gifts? Where do you see them? Are they online somewhere?
They're
Do you
on
have
our
to go
Facebook page.
On your Facebook page?
Yeah, or you can just pop in. We've got coffee and cookies and...
Over the holidays, you're
Yes.
welcoming guests in.
Just pop in.
Hi, Luann. Hi. So the Humane Society is having, it's a silent auction kind of thing?
Yeah, just with like little slips that you can put in.
Awesome.
For,
As a fundraiser.
yeah, and there's some great gifts for the furry family members.
What's the
Awesome.
Facebook page?
SSM Humane Society.
There you go. SSM Humane Society on Facebook. You can see the items that are up for fundraising, plus
All these lovely things.
She's
Gladys.
I know, she's sweet.
She's beautiful. Hasn't made a sound since she got here.
The car was a different.
Oh, really?
You should take a lesson
She was
from
quiet
Gladys.
if I wasn't telling her it was okay, and then she,
Hey guys, we
it's
gotta
not
go.
Okay.
We gotta say have a great weekend, everybody.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Laura, thanks always for being here. Please support the local Humane Society and give Gladys a home.
Thank you.
We'll see you
Have
next
a good
week.
weekend.